All right, hi everybody, my name is Mia. I work in the Veterans Resource Center, and we decided to kick off the new semester. We're going to do a home ec. Basically, I'm teaching you guys how my roommate and I make chicken parmesan, because as a lot of you do know, we don't have a lot of time as college kids. We're always hustling and bustling somewhere. So my roommate actually showed me this recipe. So it's really simple. It takes less than 25 minutes, and the only reason why it even takes that long is just because you have to cook the chicken. So first thing is just getting the chicken tenders, and this is brand new. We just got it, so I'm excited. The chicken. So all you have to do is just throw like a few on. Little popcorn chicken. Then I'm making enough for my roommate and I. So
you're not making enough for us? I mean, you're coming into work. I would like some.
I don't have enough Tupperware to carry. Set your timer for 18.
Is she frozen?
Yeah, she's frozen on my screen. Oh, there she is.
Okay, always never fails. Zoom wants to freeze me when I talk, so basically you preheat your oven to 400, and then you get a pan, coat it with like pan oil or whatever you guys use to make sure things don't stick to it. Throw it in there, and it should be in there for like 18 minutes. So then you put your chicken away, because we all have this stuff to do. And I just like cleaning up as I go, a whole lot simpler. Then you want to get your water ready. I know there's supposed to be specific like cup measurements, but I just go by eye. I'm like, okay, it usually is like 7 to 8 cups of water. Then you bring the water to the stove pot and you just place it down. Next hardest step is done. So also make sure you have some salt with you, because when we eventually have to start boiling the water, when you put your pasta in, you want to put salt in it. It adds a
You're frozen again.
Water in a pot, get ready to be boiled. When it gets close enough, make sure you have salt on you. Be salty.
I love the salt shaker.
I'm not liable for anything you do, so make sure you have your mitts. So you can't go, she told me to take it out of the oven, not without the, I'm like, yeah, with this. Because as we know, some people don't have that sense. But yeah, so I'll probably start boiling the water around 5 minutes left on the timer for the chicken tender. So I boil the water, and then when eventually I take the chicken out to put all the seasonings, I put it back in, and I'll give it more time for the pasta to cook. So I'm getting the timing down, because every stove or whatever is always a little different, how long it takes to cook everything. So make sure you kind of know your stove. Then if you want to, you could also start cooking a little bit of vegetables, seasoning them. I don't have any that would go good with the pasta right now, but one night I made I put some marinara sauce, and I had cut up some bell peppers, some onions, and I cooked some chicken with it. And then I threw it on some pasta. Had that earlier this week. Really good, really simple. Get frozen veggies too, because they last a lot longer and they're cheaper. So it's always on a budget. So when you're cooking, I personally like going to Walmart for any meats I have. But I go to Walmart for anything and like some stuff. But Walmart, I go for like pasta, all those things are going to be the same no matter where you go because Walmart tends to be cheaper. And also close to us, we can actually have Walmart pick up from Walmart and delivery if we want to. So that's fun. Yeah, overall, pretty simple. Some other seasonings you. And I'm gone again. Italian seasonings, the next.
Can you just reiterate what you just said because you got frozen again?
So basically for the seasoning, you want, if you can, just use salt and pepper, and you can also just use a bit of Italian seasoning if you have any. The only reason why I have is because my parents sent me a big box of seasonings. I was like, yes, I'll take these.
So just for all everybody, maybe people don't go grocery shopping. So there is like a baking aisle at the grocery store where you can find like all of your seasoning, salts, and different seasonings for your food.
Yeah, and so those are really good. My roommate and I, when we started, we would buy a seasoning every time we go to Walmart. So first we made sure we had our salt and pepper, and then the next time we went, we got minced garlic. Next time we got chili powder because it was like we were getting like $1.50, and it was like a new seasoning. So now we have like a decent amount. So we have paprika and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. It helps save us. And I'm like, oh, I want to try this with this seasoning now. It's pretty simple. So I'll walk you through how to make like a real chicken parmesan. I don't have the ingredients that I need, but basically you get some chicken breasts, make sure it's clean and everything. Make sure you wash your hands before and after you handle the chicken, because you just do that for cleanliness and cross contamination. Then you're going to get some egg. You're going to like 2-3 eggs, depending on how many chicken breasts you have. Whip it up. Then you also need some flour and breadcrumb seasoning. So you put it in flour, then you put it in the eggs, and then you put it in the panko, and then you put it in the skillet. And the skillet should have a bit of oil on it so it can just brown it. And then you want to flip it over every once in a while so it gets cooked more evenly on each side. And then when you think it's done, make sure you kind of cut it open, look at it. If it's still like a little too pink, make sure you put it back in. Then what you do is you take it off, then you get a pan, and then you put marinara sauce on it and then you put all your cheese on, and then you throw it back in the oven. And that's all while you're cooking your pasta. So I actually made chicken parmesan the right way, I guess, and it was pretty good, but the Tyson is way quicker, and I didn't have to go out and buy stuff. So for the marinara seasoning, we chose the roasted garlic Prego mix. My family always use Prego. Like we have a giant one actually in here, and it's for the spaghetti sauce that we use because spaghetti is a really good recipe too. And if you make a lot of it, you have enough for leftovers for like 2 or 3 days. So always shop for bulk and make sure you always have enough for lunch tomorrow. That way you have another meal taken care of. Because this will probably be our dinner.
Yeah, so you were frozen for like a good minute.
Yeah, I was just going through, shop on like a bulk if you can. Buy enough food for tomorrow's meal. That's the rule of thumb we follow. But like I said, we have about 9 minutes left on the timer.
So we can talk about chicken parmesan, some good pairings with it, like might be like you can get a loaf of French bread for like $1 at Walmart. Put butter on it for like, I mean, a tub of butter is like $2. And then if you have the garlic seasoning already, which is like another $2, that's a total of like $4 to $5. And you can make some garlic bread. So you put the loaf of bread, cut it in half, smother it with butter, put garlic seasoning on it, and stick it in the oven at like 350 for like 10 minutes. And that's something good to go with it. Also, if you go down the produce aisle, they have salad kits. Caesar salad is usually good with like your chicken parmesan and garlic bread. Those kits are usually like $2 to $3 as well. So, did you go over how much everything is that you purchased? So then we could give like a grand total, like, and you have like a meal for 2 to 4 people.
Yeah. Here, I'll just pull it up on because I shopped on the Walmart app. So I'll just pull up what each item cost me when I went there. And so let's see here. Purchase history.
Good sauce I use is from Trader Joe's. It's like only $1 and it's super, super good. So
yeah, so for a 25-ounce bag of the Tyson chicken strips that I have, it's $6.68. And so that can feed like one family. Come on. The Prego sauce is usually $1.88, so like $2 if you want to round it up. And the pasta, angel hair pasta, I'm not using that one specifically, but from the ones from Walmart, they can range from like $1 to $3 if you get the cheaper ones, which are always good too, like the great values. But since it's getting close to the time, but my roommate and I like using these, and they're from Publix, and they're basically just a little cheese, just pasta stuffed with cheese already. So it's pre-made for you. All I have to do is just stick it in, stir it every once in a while, and then it's good to go. That's what I use a lot. When we feel like being fancy, we use these. So let's just go ahead.
So if anybody is watching this pre-recorded video, some other places that I like to shop. So I love Publix, especially I check out the BOGOs, the buy one get one free, because they do usually have a lot of good deals, especially on pasta and sauces, which are cheap, long-lasting meals that you can have for a couple days. Also a good place to go for produce because it's fresh daily is Aldi's. Aldi's has some really good deals as well. So it's not gonna be like your name brand stuff, but I think Aldi's is a German grocery store. So you're gonna see more of like German brands. It's gonna be in English, but you might not recognize the label. But most of their food that I've gotten there is really good. But produce is like the best. That's the best place to shop for your produce. Because if you want to add like onions and mushrooms to your pasta sauce to give it a little bit more flavor. So I think that's all my 2 cents.
zucchini's really good to add to the pasta sauce. It's really weird, but it tastes delicious.
Yeah, I want to eventually try zucchini pasta because I heard it's really good. And so the next thing is make sure you come in to Walmart with like a list. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I remember. I go, no, you come with a list. That way you don't go off and never go when you're hungry. I did that last night and I'm like, ooh, bagels, ooh, cream cheese, ooh, ooh. And my roommate's like, stop. I still
Also,
got.
I know that there's, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I just know there's apps out there like Ibotta where you can scan your receipt and earn money back for groceries. And it's a good way to save money and then get rebates back.
Yeah, don't underestimate the reward programs. And so while you're waiting, you just grab a strainer for the pasta. When eventually you're done, you put it in the sink. So if you have a lid, cover your pasta. So, yeah, you're going. Yeah, just stick it on high, watch it boil. Never underestimate timers. All right, we're back. Yeah, never forget to set your timers. My mom did that once, and we had like charcoal black chicken nuggets for dinner. And I was like, Mom, no. And I was 5, so I couldn't do anything. She's like, suck it up. I'm like, okay. But
Yeah, I'm notorious for not watching my water boil. And it always boils over on the stove. So I know you're making this cheese stuffed tortellinis, which usually they're done once they start floating to the top, right? But if you're cooking, am I frozen now?
no.
Oh, okay. When you're cooking like spaghetti noodles, or any type of pasta, once it starts boiling and the noodles soften up, like I know you can like people throw it against the wall, and if it sticks, that means it's good, right? If it sticks.
Yeah, if it's 6, it's
Um,
good to go.
or another way is you just get a couple, you run it under cool water, and just taste test to make sure it's like the right consistency. Um, I don't know why, but I have a problem with rice and noodles a lot.
See, I have this is my crock pot. This is my baby. All I have to do is put the rice in, and then I put rice and grains, and then wait like 20 minutes, and then it's done. Not even. And it gives me a countdown. And then automatically when it's like done, it'll just set to keep warm. So I've been using that like crazy.
Same. I'm definitely spoiled with my crock pot.
Well, I got away from it, but me too. It's easy, like simple meals that you can just leave. Like I'll just cook, or like I'll prep everything the night before, and then like in the morning before I leave, I'll throw everything in there, and then it makes your house smell delicious when you get home. Drives my dog nuts. And then but it's good for a couple of days, and then like, or like I made chili over the break, and after like 2 days everybody was sick of it, so I just put it in a Tupperware container, and it's in the freezer now, because those are good meals that you can just defrost and put back in the crock pot and use again at a later date.
Yeah. So what I do is can make a shrimp broil, which is just throwing a bunch of like crap in the pot and then cooking it for a few minutes, and then I just add the shrimp, and then it's good to go. So basically, it's vegetable broth, potatoes, corn, sausage, shrimp, with a bit of like seasonings. Like I use chili and stuff, and it's so good. It's really quick too. So next we add these. Then you add your salt. And then stir it up a bit so the salt just goes everywhere. I like keeping these so I can place my utensils here, so that way So then you grab your safety mitts. Then there's your chicken nuggets. So they're gonna be sizzling for the next few minutes, but we're gonna cool them down with some marinara. Shake it up a bit. Fresh bottle, so nice and popped open. Then you just drizzle over. And so next is your cheese. So all we use is just Great Value. Great Value is our best friend in college. And some cheese. And so this is actually with Kobe Jack, but you can use whatever you want. I said I grabbed whatever was cheaper, and my roommate was gone, so I could grab whatever I wanted. And then you just put it on. And be generous with it because it melts and it just gets like smaller. So you want it to cover everything. I'm actually going to finish this bag because I don't have a whole lot left. Then you just add your seasonings. I'm just going to use Italian for now, so it has time to cook into the thing. So you just kind of alternate, that way it's in every layer, so that way if like your top layer of like marinara comes off, there's still some under it, if that makes sense. More. So then you throw it in until all the cheese is melted, or about 5-ish minutes. So then clean up as you go. Make sure you seal the pasta, and then you put it in the fridge because they're fine up until you open them. And as soon as you open them, put them in the fridge. So yeah, as soon as you open that marinara, if you don't use all of it, put it right back in the fridge. And make sure every once in a while you stir your pasta up. That way it doesn't get clumped together when you pour it out. You want to get your plates ready. I got this plate for less than like 50 cents, not even, from Walmart. And cute. It goes with the aesthetic of my marble plates that I've already had, because we had to buy more plates since we were cooking a lot more. So we had to, sometimes you need 3 plates just to cook one thing. So
IKEA too is really good for.
Never underestimate IKEA. And I actually got a lot of my utensils, pots, pans from Walmart. So never be afraid to go Walmart for that kind of stuff, because they've been lasting me for a long time already. So it's a good investment. So you're going to have to probably pay a lot up front, but it's going to last you. It's like buying a couch. You might have to pay like $1,000, but you're going to use it for like years. So about 3 more minutes and then we'll be good to go. All right, we're back. Okay. Yeah, sorry about this internet connection. I do not know what's up with it. It just wants to be unstable for some reason. I felt that. And so, like I said, pretty simple. Takes you less than 20 minutes, 20, 25. Really good, simple recipe. My roommate, it keeps my roommate and I like just satisfied. Especially if you're craving Italian and you don't have the money to go out, don't underestimate it. Also, if you ever start getting bored of all the recipes or like things you cook, because sometimes it gets a bit tedious, just go online. Just that's how I learned how to make a shrimp broil. And if you can, let's just say like, oh, I really liked the orange chicken from Bento. Just look up orange chicken, just see what you can do with it. It might not be as good. It really never is because we're not the cooks. I don't know, I'm not. But just do something like that.
Yeah, Food Network also has like a free program and they have videos constantly and many, many different recipes. It's actually really, really cool. I use that sometimes.
I just take it because I like all right, so the oven just went off. So I got to take my chicken parmesan out. I'll move my computer. But overall, looks pretty good. And if you don't feel like really cleaning it, you can always just put some some aluminum foil on the pan, and that way it's only the aluminum foil that gets dirty. So the next thing you want to do is if you like having a lot of pasta, you're going to put this in a separate container and then you're going to heat it up for 30 seconds to a minute. That way you can just drizzle it over the pasta and mix it well. I'm just going to use the rest of this. So that there, you can cover it. Most people do. I just couldn't find the cover to it. So I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, you're going to grab your pasta sauce. And I'm using a pair of tongs for easy grabbing. Then I'm going to just pick up my chicken marinara or chicken parmesan, whatever we want to really call it. Just place it on. And see how it just, woo, just drips in. I also like grabbing a bit off the pan, just throwing it back on there. And then you put your sauce on it. And that's how you make chicken parmesan on a college student's budget. So, any questions, comments, concerns?
It smells really good over there.
All right, I'm so glad I'm hungry. I'm ready to dig in. So, like I said, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns about the Veterans Resource Center and or you're interested in becoming more involved, we have an Instagram, we have Facebook, we also have our email. So we all have a bunch of staff ready to help you. So be more than willing to just reach out, go, hey, I'm really interested. Saw your cooking video. It was amazing. Just say the cooking video was amazing. Alrighty, so thanks for everyone who came out. I really appreciated this. Coral, you go make your orange chicken and we'll be good to go. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.